Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and are able to reach me. All right, so we're going to cover chapter 3, which is about ethics, right? All right, what do you understand by ethics? Ethics is behaviors that a group of people, a community, right, a society, or just a group of people deem to be right, to be fair and to be just, you know. So ethics, sort of in a community setting, ethics kind of change as we go along, just like everything else. When I was growing up, there were certain things that we weren't allowed to do. But this day and age, young guys are able to do it. You know, I don't want to get into too much details on that, but then you all know, um, every generation have their own thing. So it kind of changes a little bit. Now there's difference between ethics and law. All right, law tells us what we must do. It's a must that you you must do this, or if you flip it around, you must not do this. And if you still went ahead and did it anyway, I mean, what's going to happen to you? You're going to get punished by the law. So that is the so. But with ethics, it is just a sort of a recommendation. All right, they're not going to hold your feet to the fire. They're not going to punish you. They expect you to act in a certain way. They expect you to act in the right way. They expect you to act fairly. They expect you to act in a just manner. All right. So there are a lot of ethical issues, right, in business. There are a lot of ethical issues. People, somebody's gonna ask, okay, why do we have ethics? Why is ethics important when there are laws? That's because laws don't cover everything. Laws are just minimal. Laws actually come from ethics. All right. So they take out certain things that are serious. That they think that, oh, this could be serious offenses, and then they make it laws. All right. Like stealing or robbing somebody. Okay, so they take it from ethics. Ethics tells you no, that's not right, but people still go ahead and do it anyway. So the law is here for people for people who are going to violate such things. They don't have any um, moral complex. They don't have any ethical moral compass. They don't have any ethical compass. And so in our workplaces, there are ethical problems like abusive behavior. When your boss is kind of abusive, it's kind of intimidating, right? It causes you emotional distress and stuff, right? There are no laws for that, right? Also, management lying to employees. I was lied to when I was working back in the day. They told me they were going to give us raises, and then the next thing, that was way back about 20 something years ago. Then later on, they told us, oh, they were going to ship the job away. Like, okay, what is going on? We just signed new contracts and everything. Um, then they were increasing their pay. Another thing is hiring practices. There's still discrimination, no matter how it is. They like certain people. They don't like certain people, right? If you go there, you think, oh, I'm qualified. I did everything right, but they're still going to give you the job. They're rather going to give it to somebody else. There are laws against discrimination, but discrimination is all. I mean, hiring is also at the discretion of people, right? At the discretion of the person who is going to hire you, and they can just decide, I'm not going to hire you because this guy didn't smile a whole lot. I'm not going to hire you because So minorities are mainly discriminated upon. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen to majorities too. And also, when we talk about minorities, we also talking about let's bring in gender too. There's also gender discrimination in certain things. There's also conflict of interest, right? When you are representing the company, are you really looking out for the company, or are you looking out for your pocket? These things also happen. People also give bribes in terms of in the form of gifts, right? Oh, I just got you a nice car just from the bottom of my heart. No, they trying to influence your decisions so that you can give them what? The contract, right? There's also stealing. Stealing, well, if you steal, it's against the law, but this kind of stealing is just, little things. They pick up certain things in the organization. Let's say a book, right? Let's say, they drive the company car and they tell you, oh, I spent about this on gas, but that's not true. They steal here and there. People get fired for stealing, right? Sexual harassment is also a problem. And as you all know, sexual harassment has to be, a continuous thing. And which is inappropriate for the person, all right, in question. They tell you no, that means no. But then if it's one time or two times, it's not necessarily, it doesn't get to the legal realm, right? It has to be continuous. All right. So also we have what misuse of confidential information. This is with computer. This is what happens. So computer-based information system, right? Computer-based information system. This is what we have right now presently. In the past, we had what? Paper-based, right? Paper and pencil, paper and pen. They used to write everything down. They used to store it in what? Files, stacks of files, and stuff. And then if you need information, if anybody needs information, they got to pull it up, climb a ladder, pull it up, pull it down, and refer to it. So now we have computer-based. Computer has become what? Indispensable. We have computer. Our cell phones are also what? Mini computers, right? Have computer everywhere. Everybody is on a computer, right? What does it do to our businesses? Of course, it helps improve our profit because we are able to reach out to a whole lot of customers from everywhere in the world. We can do business. Amazon can do business. You can set up your business here, and if you can ship things to people in China, in Europe, it is it's also made our products better. All right, using technology has made our products and services better. It's also giving us a whole lot of better in terms of quality. All right. So if I'm providing a service here, just like I'm providing a teaching service here, you don't have to drive all the way down, right? It's in this case, it's better for some people. This is the better way, right? In certain cases, too, some people just want to be in a classroom. It also, more importantly, it gives you a balance, work-life balance. You don't have to be here all the time. You don't have to drive all the way down. Some students prefer that. Just like I said, professors also are doing things online, right? But again, so there are problems associated with the use of what? Computer-based information systems, right? Just like there are problems with anything. Everything has its problems. The paper-based, somebody can break into your office and steal stuff. All right. Now, here's a case that you can get hacked. Okay. The laws doesn't cover everything. Just like I said, in this case, the ethical issues in information system is what? Violation of privacy. All right, and then balancing security and privacy while collecting your personal data. Are your personal data going to be stored? Your personal information that each organization collects from you, and you and I know they collect a lot. All right, if you want to buy stuff online, they still need what? Your credit card information. They need your phone number. They need your house. They collect a whole lot of information from you. Are they going to be able to keep it secured? No, matter of fact, right? Because there are so many data breaches, right? And sometimes some of these employees, or the people who collect the organization and the employees who collect these information from us, they can go rogue. They can use it for their personal benefits, right? Sometimes they even sell our data to somebody else, another organization, for money. You gave it to them for free. You didn't ask them to give it to anybody, but then they do it anyway, right? Sometimes they ask for information that they're not supposed to have so that they can just be able to rip you off. Another ethical issue is whether they provide us with quality products, quality software. All right, they some of them just don't, because all they want is money. So they don't care if the software is defective, and it can lead to your loss of privacy, right? So that these are the issues, ethical issues in information system. There's also implementing measures to safeguard your freedom of speech right. Okay, you have the right to freedom of speech. Doesn't mean that you can go out there and say anything. Some website providers can just block you just because they don't like what you said. It happens politically a lot, right? Oh, just because they don't like what you said. So everybody has a right to privacy, but that don't mean that you should engage in certain things that are undesirable. All right, we have a freedom of speech. The First Amendment guarantees freedom of speech, but it doesn't guarantee that you threaten somebody. All right, or on the internet you engage in some pornographic materials, things that are not good. All right. So there are reasons for you to be ethical, right? When you are ethical, what happens? You ingratiate yourself with a community, all right? You instill trust in the public, and so they want to patronize your business more than any other business, all right? Because what? Because you are ethical. They can trust you. Based on what? They can trust that, you are keeping their data very well. If I give you my information, you can keep it very well. They trust you that you providing what? Quality products for them. They trust you that you are providing quality service. You're just not out there for the money. You actually care about their well-being. Okay? So there are very good reasons to be ethical. It makes you. The bottom line is that it makes you profitable. All right, and it also gives you loyal customers. It also makes you stay in business for a long time. Okay, it also helps develop the community around you. Let's say that you donate to. An example is in 2017, Microsoft, right, donated more than $2 billion in software and services, to help with relief efforts. All right, disaster relief efforts. They also just donate to, let's say, cloud technology and university research to cloud technology and um, university research into technology. Dell Computers, right? They also donated 1.2 million in disaster relief. So what are they doing? So when people see these things, what happens? They tend to like that organization because they are ethical in terms of philanthropy, right? Donations, and then also stakeholders like you are providing services to all your stakeholders who are your customers. You treating your employees very well. They want to work for you. All right, and it also protects you against lawsuits. Okay, because the more you engage in unethical behavior, the likelihood that you are going to break the law. All right. So the United States Sentencing Commission, right? It actually wants organizations to have a code of ethics. It's not mandatory, but it is recommended that you have code of ethics in your organization. If you do have these code of ethics, and you violate the law, they're going to go easy on you a little bit. They're going to reduce the fines. They're going to reduce the sentencing. But if you don't have any code of ethics in your organization, you didn't make any attempt to be ethical, what happens? Or you're going to face the full rigors of the law. This is what happened with Wells Fargo when they set up frivolous accounts, in the name of their existing customers. They set up frivolous credit card accounts. The customers didn't know anything about it, right? 2 million customers. Why did they do that? Because the employees were trying to meet a sales target. When they get that sales target, they're gonna get a bonus. They're gonna get a bonus. They were just trying to meet it. So they are already existing customers. They just created something and and then they said, oh, these customers have credit cards. No, we don't have credit. Customers were like, I didn't sign up for no credit card. Wells Fargo was fined $185 billion. All right, $185 billion. They were fined. So was it worth it? Because at the end of the day, they didn't even have code of ethics out there. So the law wasn't lenient on them. But I don't think the law should be lenient on them at all. All right, you also avoid bad publicity that is going to affect your business. All right, if people realize that you are behaving unethically in the community, your stock prices are actually going to fall. Right, nobody is going to even want to do business with you. All right. So, as I said, the main issue in information technology is your privacy, guarding your data, protecting your data, your information. Okay, because information, of course, can be abused. Information can be abused. The laws are not enough. If you have ethical people working for you, they know what is right and wrong. They know what is fair, right? They know what is just. Even if they're not ethical, they don't know a whole lot about ethics. You need to train them that, hey, do not do this. Do not steal. Do not take people's personal data. Do not share any information. You have to have these codes of ethics and make sure it is enforced. So make sure that it is enforced in the organization. See, we as customers of organizations want power to control our information too, don't we? We just give it to you and you do whatever you want with it. No, we want some power, but so far we don't have comprehensive laws in this country. In Europe, there is comprehensive law. It's called the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR. All right, and where in Europe you can actually ask them to delete the data that they have on you. You can actually ask you can actually request to change the data that they have on you. So you have control over the data that you provide, right? You can say, okay, I'm giving you this data for this specific purpose. After that, don't use it for anything else, right? And if there is a breach, right? There is a breach of your data. Your data is everywhere, right? People hack it, right? You are fined $26 million automatically. European laws, that's how it works. In America, there's no overarching law like that. There are different laws which actually covers just 3 areas. It covers your finance, it covers your health, and also for children. All right. So financially, there is the Fair Credit Reporting Act. This helps us with our credit card background, checking account, savings account information and stuff. That it says that, okay, you can actually request your credit information from any of these credit bureaus, right? Like Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. You can also dispute any inaccurate data on your card, whether your checking card, your debit card or your credit card. You can actually call and dispute those charges. And you can dispute how data is retained, how data is kept. All right. There's also the Right to Financial Privacy Act, which only states that, okay, the government cannot go to your banks and any organization to request information that they have of you, right? They cannot. All right, in terms of health, excuse me, in terms of health, we have what we call HIPAA, HIPPA. It's all in your PowerPoint. So that is the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, which was passed by the government. All right. So under that, the doctors, healthcare providers are not supposed to disclose any information to anybody on you without your consent. All right. So the third one is what the children's personal data. Of course, you all know what FERPA is, right? Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. All right. So that in here, if you are 18, you can actually take control of your educational records. Below 18, your parents are in charge of it. You can file a complaint on your behalf and everything. It's either 18 or older, or if you have completed high school. You could be 17 but have completed high school. Yep, you can have that information. And we also have Children Online Privacy Protection Act, which is what COPPA, COPPA, which says that website providers, right, internet providers, they cannot get any information from children who are 13 years of age or below. But of course, the laws cannot be there all the time. The laws doesn't cover everything. That is why ethics is important, or ethics are important. All right? If we are all ethical, society will be a better place. Okay? Society will be a better place. We don't even have to even think about no laws, right? If we all act right. But if we want to act right, of course, there are a few people who want to do wrong, and those are the people who the laws will get. Listen, as I'm keep on saying, the laws cannot cover everything. How many law enforcement officers do we have? Even here in Sisseton Wapping, we have about what 5,000 people that live here. Do we have 5,000 police officers? No. The number of police officers are probably what 15, 20, right? So they cannot see everybody. They cannot bust everybody if everybody decides I'm going to start committing a crime. Today, everybody, we all running the red light, we all doing bad things. They're just going to be like, oh gosh, we can't do nothing. We can't put everybody in jail, right? So what is holding society together? Our ethics. We know that, okay, this is right, this ain't fair, this ain't just, right? That is what is holding society together. That's what holds society together. Of course, if you have code of ethics in your organization, it improves your organization, your decision making in organizations. It helps improve behaviors of your employees. It engenders trust in the public, right? Provides benchmark for organizations to use self-assessment. All right, so individuals should also make it an effort to control to protect their privacy, right? There are people who do a whole lot of shopping, right? And they just give out information just willy-nilly, I guess anyhow. No, please do not go to trusted sites. Look for the Trust E logo. If you go to a website, you want to buy something, there's what we call the Trust E logo, right? Look at it, and you can trust them. I personally, I don't buy stuff from just anybody. I only go to probably Amazon, right? And if it's Walmart online, Target online, and I know, okay, I'm dealing with. Be mindful of the information that you dish out, because there's no way that they should be asking for your social security, right? So many things, your date of birth. What do you need all this information? Be mindful of these sites that you go on, so you don't give out information. Also, maybe block your ID, so they're not able to track you, okay? And also, when you get your bail, make sure that you tear it before you dispose of it, before you put it in the garbage. All right. Be careful when you share your information. Of course. Also, you can find out information about yourself from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. When you are moving from one place to the other, they advise that you don't go to the postal service to tell them of your new address. Otherwise, organizations are going to track you, right? You just give information to organizations that you already are doing business with, that you trust, right? Of course. So this is, the ethical issues with information system. It permeates in our society, and so we are concerned about what our privacy, the data that we give them. They can use it to do everything, but if they are ethical, they're not. All right. And also, they can give us bad products. They can give us software. That is not quality, right? And that is also further going to compromise our security, okay? But they're going to do it anyway because we human beings also want cheaper stuff. But the more cheaper it is, the more it could be compromising to us. All right. So this is just a brief video to make you understand this topic, where we are, where we're coming from. So until next time, we're going to cover chapter 4. Y'all have a very good day. Bye-bye.